everyone, welcome to this panel discussion. This is episode 22, season 3. I'm your host, Aarti Bagri Gill. I am CBSE resource person, SDG4 Global Ambassador. Every time we talk on one particular topic which is related to SDGs, and let's see what we have for you today. On board, our respected panelists are Ms. Pushpalata Thakur Chaudhary, AIF resource person, and Dr. Vaishali Gai, AIF resource person. Welcome to this panel discussion, panelists. So today's topic of discussion is SDG9. As you can see on the screen, all the SDGs are there. SDG9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And icing on the cake is MUN. So we'll be talking in brief related to MUN as well. So let's start today's topic of discussion, that is SDG9. So here is an overview. And for that, I'm going to call Dr. Vishali for this. Yes, ma'am, please.
So, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Aarti ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. So, as you all know, that our topic is SDG9. So, first thing is when we talk about SDG9, as ma'am said, is about the industrialization. And when we talk about MUN connected with this SG9, we need to first consider the MUN and choose our MUN committee and their agendas accordingly. Like when we talk about, there are certain MUNs which are very common. We are having UNESCO. That main agenda of UNESCO is to promote the sustainable industrialization for especially the developing countries. Similarly, another MUN we are having is UNIDO. And its main agenda is to innovate the green technologies, and that is for all. So when we consider first by choosing the MUN and their agenda, then we need to assign the relevant country roles. Specifically, when we deal with the school education, we need to consider it with the students so that they can consider this topic and can debate from different perspectives, especially on industrialization, so that they can grow further. They can connect technologically also. So, when we talk about industrialization, it includes the innovative perspectives also on industrialization, the infrastructure challenges that we observe during any development. So, what we can do is we can take a group or the mixture of developed countries, least developed countries, or the developing countries and ask to study the relevant country roles in terms of their infrastructure, and they can debate on this topic. So, it is basically about the infrastructure that we need to inculcate with the MUN. Similarly, when we talk about the same topic, we can go with the research and preparation also. And for that, we can guide our students to study their country's industrial preparations and what are the strategies and problems they are facing. So they can go with their policies in terms of PPTs, in terms of debate, all these points they can cover. Similarly, we can identify and ask the students to infrastructure groups in terms of their solutions. Like while debating any topic about industrialization, whatever be the outcomes come for it, they should come with the solution. So, to identify this infrastructure gaps and find out with some solutions so that they can connect directly it with the real world, that should be the main output, what I seems. Similarly, ask the students to collect the data, statistics, and real examples from different countries, like taking an example of Tesla company or taking an example of any good industry or any startup, and then they can go with that. Similarly, we can encourage the people to present the solution for sustainable industry. How it can be done? It can be done by discussing the points related to the effects that they are observing related to industries, and the funding risk and how they are going to manage those funds that is related to infrastructure. And this is majorly very important for the poor countries, that means which are very least developed or underdeveloping stage. That is very important. Similarly, we can ask the people to design a prototype or plan that is related to SDG 9. We can ask the students, the people to relate with them on SDG 9, like affordable clean water systems, or nowadays the solar energy, very important. So they can work on solar powered public transport also. So that is also one of the industrialization topic we can connect it with this SDG. Similarly, we can ask the students and the people to link their debate outcomes, whatever they have discussed, whatever they come up with the solution. Those outcomes they can connect it with the real world situations and can go with SDG 9 overview also. They can display their MUN resolutions on school notice board and even on websites also. And one or the other thing, last I can say is they can invite the local entrepreneurs and to judge their students and to mentor their students so that they can also go in that vast field and become a good entrepreneur. They can manage their industries and their startups very well. So that's all about from my side. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Well said, ma'am. So these are the targets. These 7 targets are the key points of this SDG 9, and we are looking forward for building resilient infrastructure, promoting inclusivity and sustainable industrialization, and fostering the innovation. So let's proceed further. And of course, we are looking forward for the integration of SDG 9 in higher grades. That means the group which is actually responsible for building the nation strong, that is the youth. So for this, I'm going to invite Ma'am Pushpalata for this. Yes, ma'am. Kindly unmute yourself, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, ma'am. Um, so today we will continue with our sustainable development goals, and we are on goal 9. And we are also interspersing it with our higher education and also with the MUNs. And I think it is one of the very most important, I think one of the most important SDG goals, because here is a goal which includes our industry, innovation, and infrastructure. It's like it is amalgamating the skeletal system, the nervous system, all are all systems included together. Whatever they are, they are the core which are building our nations. So what we really need to do is industry is the activity which uses machines and tools when we are transforming raw materials into the finished products, and we need to take them to the factories and where people work with them and where they are changed into the finished products. Then innovations are what are carrying them forward, and the process which people are developing new things and discoveries which are making life easier for these people. And then last is our infrastructure. So our infrastructure are the facilities which are required to make sure that whatever we have created through this industry and innovation is reaching to people across the nation. And the key, this in industrializing, in quality, in increasing, in building new things, in making new things, in innovating new things. But one very important thing which arises is a quality infrastructure, because by amalgamating all these three things, by building infrastructure, we promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and that further goes ahead and fosters innovation. So now what we need is, uh, when you can look ahead, that not only 9 are we are talking about, when we talk about SDG 9, it is also affecting other SDGs like no poverty. When we have more industries, when we have places where people can work, more work is created, poverty is reduced. Then we move on to our go. You can see that SDG 8, SDG 10, SDG 3, and not to mention SDG 4, because that is our whole point of talk here, which I have not mentioned here, but it is a very, very important part of this. Then SDG 6, 7, and 11. All of them come under this and are amalgamated under industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So our higher educations are going to our children. For example, ma'am just said that in MUNs, what happens is people, all the children come together, they pick up issues which are very important to different nations, and industry, innovation, and infrastructure are one of the the very, very strong things which makes a nation economically very, very strong. And to make these things, our learners, our educators, and children, growing children, need to know, and for that they need to have a cognitive learning objectives which they need to understand. Because if this understanding of the concepts of sustainable infrastructure is not there, they are not going to understand how the SDG 9 is working. They have to understand how locally, nationally, and internationally the infrastructures are going to work, how the spatial planning is going to help them, and also what are the pitfalls of not being able to formulate a sustainable infrastructure, a resilient infrastructure, so that for further ahead, new opportunities are created. When children come through, they come together for these MUNs. Let me say MUNs, like ma'am explained right now, that these are simulations which children come ahead with the topics and with the problems which have been occurring throughout the world, and the children sit together and they deliberate, and they sit and talk about things, and they find solutions to those things. It is very important that these children understand what these are. This cognitive learning objectives are very important for them. Then they need to have social emotional learning objectives, where they can connect it to their surroundings, where they can understand what these problems are not only theirs, they exist at a global level. There are people who are not able to find water. If you don't have the basic necessity, if you don't have food, water, etc., you cannot think about the larger things in life. You cannot think about infrastructures, you cannot think about industries and all. So every time generation has come, has advanced through renaissance, through industrialization, now through digitalization, whatever has happened is we are creating larger structures and more economic growth. If there are some countries who are left behind in all this, it creates a big void in our nations, because globalization means that everybody has to go ahead together. So for that, we really need to, the MUNs really need to foster global education partnerships. Children need to understand that these are very important things which we have to be amalgamated and implemented in any kind of system, any country. And we have to implement these awareness campaigns, etc. That is how, when children are working, they are debating, they are negotiating, and they are networking in MUNs, they are able to find solutions to these problems. And sometimes they are better solution finders. And later in life, when they really are going there and sitting at these places, I think they will be great. They will be finding great solutions to big problems in their lives. And it is very important. And I think when we move on ahead, you can see that India, if we talk about India, India has really done a lot of improvement in SDG 9. Here you can see a map here where you see from 2018 to 23-24. Let me say that this map is still saying that India has got an SDG index of 61. But let me tell you that this is only till 2024. In 2025, India has moved on to 61. So from 41 in 2018, India has moved on to an SDG index of 67, which has created a position for us in the top 100. So India has now got a 99th position in the SDG 9, and globally we have improved a lot. But to say that we are improving and we are doing very well is a very slow process, because building resilient infrastructure, sustainable industrialization is not a very small task. The picture which you see right above, where a boy is talking to a girl, this is what we actually want to see our world in 2030, and where we hope that the both ends of the world where we are talking and where we are talking to, where we have this resilient structure, where we have a, electric vehicles, and we have solar powers, like ma'am just said, and wind energy. Where we are able to see and, utilize our natural resources and build these resilient structures and industrialize, which is very important. And for that, our children have to move forward. They have to innovate. They have to do scientific research. Countries have to provide them opportunities. And I'm very happy that schools today are providing these opportunities to children, at the middle levels. Even if you see, if you're, Aarti ma'am, you're going to talk about MUNs right now. It is not only that the senior children are talking about MUNs. We are right away starting from grade 5, grade 6,
True,
excuse me,
true.
for children are moving ahead, and they are realizing that our world needs our help, and we all need to pitch in and to work towards it. And we really hope that through role playing they're, they're developing their business models, and they're also giving us new ways of utilizing these natural energies. So they will develop a vision for the world, and they will plan a community which will be not only in one nation, but in, they will have a global nation, and they will help each other to, bring forward uh, and innovate and be scientifically sound, resilient, sustainable. And we still hope that everything is reached by 2030. Our efforts are totally into it. We are all trying our best. Our children are trying their best, and we hope we are able to providing more opportunities to think and find solutions to these problems in the world. And I hope we are able to reach SDG 9 better. Thank you so much for the time, ma'am.
So I just want Ma'am Pushpalata to please put some light on this color code so that our viewers will understand it in a better way that this yellow color code is for because it's
Yes, ma'am. The
yeah.
yellow color code is the nations which, they are advancing very well. Earlier, when you can see in 2018, when our SDG was for 41, our nations were still lacking behind in industry, innovation, infrastructure. Lot of changes were required, and we made a good leap in 2020, 21. And as you can see, the 22, 20 in 23, 24, we have moved a lot of our red area has converted into a yellow area, but our aim is to convert the whole of the yellow area into a green area. And by that, we mean that we need to put in more effort into our innovations and scientific research, and we need to, build up our infrastructure. Infrastructure is a very important thing, because even if you build industries and they are not well connected with the raw materials, or where they are, the sources or the places where they need to be sold, if they are not connected well, all these yellow areas are not going to turn into green. So we need to, it's very important for us to, keep moving ahead so that we reach our goal till 2030, and the whole of the yellow area and the red area is also converted to green. Thank you so much,
Perfectly
ma'am.
said, ma'am. So this is an idea, basically. So this is a reflection of the whole slide that this yellow area is like being converted from the red one to yellow, and now it has to be moved to the blue part. Okay, perfectly. Right.
So more access more access to people will ensure that we have industries and infra will make these, the yellow regions greener. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Well said, ma'am. So now I'm going to talk about this MUN in education system. Both the panelists, they have talked about MUN, and I just share a brief regarding it. And in our upcoming sessions, we will be talking about MUNs in detail. So today, I'm just gonna touch the topic that what this MUN is basically, what is the objective of MUN, and in the upcoming sessions, we will be talking it on school levels, college levels, and the various topic which has been touched under this whole umbrella. So this word MUN is basically Model United Nations. So you all are pretty aware of United Nations, and it's being a model of that, wherein what we do basically is where we do the simulation of UN multilateral organs, which catapult the students into the world of diplomacy. So both the panelists have touched this point that they have to debate, they have to talk about the various issues, they will do negotiations, they will put up their own models, they will talk about in a roof, under the roof, or on a big platform. So that is all about this MUN. It's a model which has been put forward by voluntarily by schools and colleges at their own level, which will get extended to international level even. So this idea is basically to come up with the queries, to come up with the topics, and then to come up with the solutions as well, right? So it makes our children versatile, it makes our children upfront, it makes our children get channelized about what kind of situation the whole world is facing and how you will deal with those situations. So can you see this beautiful picture of MUN, which will be getting arranged by the schools at their own levels or colleges at their own levels for the all round contour development of the children? What is going on in their own country, what is going on in the entire world, in developing nations, underdeveloped nations. So all in all and full. So, what is the objective of this MUN? It is basically a conference, right? It is all dependent upon the type of the school and colleges on which level they want to arrange this conference. It is like to educate the participants about the international relations, right? It is not like that we are just living in a country and we are talking about our own objectives, problems, queries, etc. So when we are talking about UN, when we are talking about the entire system, we are talking about the international relations. And of course, we will be putting our points in form of debates, in form of mutual discussions. So it is entirely the whole model which is being put up by the organization, the educational organization. So, dear viewers, in our upcoming sessions, we will be talking in detail about MUNs, how you are going to organize MUNs in your schools and colleges, and what kind of objectives and overcomes will be there, what kind of benefits will be there, and on which level it can be organized. So, entire discussion will be there in the upcoming ones. This is all for today, and you can share your queries on abcteaching at 875@gmail.com. You can check the description box for all the important links. You have to mark your attendance and you need to check the certificate generation link in the description box after this session. So I hope this session has given you valuable insights related to SDG 9, and we are looking forward that you will gain more from this entire partnering with SDG awareness series. Thank you so much, panelists, for giving your valuable time. Bye bye, everyone, and take care.